So for our group project, we decided to focus on workplace bullying. So to set the scene a little bit, we chose to focus the project on a local credit union where the supervisor has left to go on maternity leave for 3 months, and a new supervisor named Kristen has come in to fill the spot temporarily. There are differences between the way Kristen does things and the old supervisor. The old supervisor was extremely patient, and she gave everybody plenty of time to process their work and to get everything done correctly without any issues. Oppositely, Kristen expects everything to be done immediately, and she goes around the office barking orders at everybody. So her bullying has been very verbal, and it's led to a lot of tension in the office between the employees and between employees and the members, as the members who come in recently have noticed a lot of tension and stress in the atmosphere. I decided to show you guys is basically going to be a clip of Connie, the office manager, Kristen, the temporary supervisor, and Ashley, the senior teller, sitting down in Connie's office to work through the conflict. It'll be the first time that it's presented to Kristen, so the goal will be to present it in a healthy way that encourages open discussion and results in a resolution of the problem that will allow for a healthier environment for the employees to work in.
Okay, Kristen and Ashley, thank you for sitting down with me. Ashley mentioned to me earlier that she wanted to discuss some issues that seemed to be going on, and I felt it would be good if we were all present.
Yeah, definitely. So Kristen, I feel really bad bringing this up, but the other tellers have been approaching me with some complaints about you. It seems they're having a hard time adjusting to the way you do things, and I am as well.
What's wrong with how I do things?
You rush things and don't allow for the amount of time it takes to do all of the steps in a proper, effective order and according to our procedures. If we aren't being fast enough, you yell at us, and if you want us to do something, you bark orders at us instead of respectfully asking for us to do the tasks.
If you guys didn't chit-chat so much, we'd be getting the job done a lot faster.
Okay, ladies, I'm going to interrupt for a minute. I can tell there are some very strong feelings, and I'm starting to see there is blame from both sides. I would like us to try and move away from blaming each other and talk more about how certain things are making you feel. Each of you have a different perception of the events, which is normal. Before we move on, I would like both of you to think about what you both have just said and try to think about the events from the other's perspective. And tell me what you think the other person's perception is tied in with your feelings of the events.
Kristen, I see how when you see us talking, it might appear that we are not working or being as fast as we can be. I admit that sometimes what we are talking about might not be relevant, but most of the time we are actually discussing procedures or double-checking something with the other person. Sometimes when you bark orders, I think it might be because you are overwhelmed or stressed, so it doesn't occur to you to ask because you need the task done. When you want us to do the closing procedures faster, it also feels like you'd rather get out of work sooner than do the procedures correctly and efficiently.
Much better, Ashley. What do you have to say, Kristen?
I can see how you don't like how I give my orders, but I don't feel it is my job to be nice. It is to be supervisor and make sure the job gets done. I understand that you think I'm rushing you, but I have to cut overtime, and the longer you have to stay for closing procedures, the more overtime there is.
I still feel that you could be nicer about giving orders. I'm aware you are telling us something because you need it done, but your tone and how you ask brings down morale and makes people not want to continue working here. I also understand about overtime, but I feel it would be better for us to go into overtime and get the job done correctly instead of rushing and making mistakes that will take longer to fix later and cost the bank more money to fix it.
Good, ladies. I'm getting a good understanding of the issue now. Ashley, do you believe Kristen is to blame for the problem?
Yes.
Kristen, do you think you are to blame?
I don't think I'm to blame. I feel what I'm doing is what I need to get the job done. I also couldn't know people were feeling this way when no one talked to me about it.
I see.
We have tried to talk to you about it, but you're always too busy. Every time I have approached you, you're in the middle of something and tell me I need to wait or rush me. We can't communicate on how we feel if we are not given the opportunity. You want things done when and how you want them, end of story. No questions asked or discussion. We feel bullied into compliance.
Ladies, please hold on. I asked about blame to show you both feel the other is to blame, which I sensed through what you both have said. The thing is, neither person is to blame. Rather, all parties contributed to the situation, possibly some more than others. And this is a difficult situation, but regardless, this wasn't one person's doing. When I told you both to think about the other person's perspective, you each pulled out things that you agreed you saw how the other person could feel certain ways. Each of you had a different perspective of the situation, which affected how you responded to the actions the other person did. There is no right or wrong for this, but in order to make the work environment healthier going forward, I think it will help if you both collaborate, talk, and find some compromises going forward that will work for everyone. Ashley can act, as she is now, for the tellers to work on things going forward.
What if she won't listen to me?
I recommend that you schedule weekly meetings together to check in and discuss anything going on that either of you have concerns about. And if you want me present in the beginning, I can do that. I also think it would be helpful if there were team meetings every so often so that Kristen or both of you can address the employees to help them with this transition as well as anything else. We have all hands on deck meetings, as you know, every so often, but it appears to not be enough. I think this will help all parties.
I think that is fair, but what about the pressure of eliminating overtime?
I would like you both to work on a proposal for these meetings, and I will have overtime approved for the purpose of these meetings.
But what if Kristen and I feel something can't wait till one of the meetings?
I want you all to communicate in these meetings and outside of them. The meetings are so you can have more depth time outside of your general job duties, so you can work together more. If there is an immediate concern, ask the other person to talk and indicate it is important. You both should listen to each other's concerns.
But what if it doesn't get better?
I want you both to really try, and before reacting, look at things from the other's perspective and respond appropriately. If things continue not to go well or get worse, reach out to me again and we will see if I can find another approach that works better.
Okay.
Ashley, you don't sound sure.
It just doesn't seem that simple.
I know. Transition is difficult and everyone was used to how things were. And now things are changing. People are resistant to change. I think if you work together, you will find that you can find a solution that will make everyone happy. I don't want to make a solution for you, but guide you. That way you can find it together. I think it will be more effective this way, but if it doesn't work, I can find a solution in the future. I hope it doesn't come to that, though.
Yes, sir. I'm happy to work with Kristen to resolve things.
I'll work with Ashley and try to adjust my supervisor style so it benefits the team. I don't want employees to leave because of me. I'm sorry that I've been seen as a bully. That was never my intention.
Thank you, Kristen. I didn't think that was your intention either. It just felt that way.
It sounds like you both are off to a good start for understanding each other a little better. Thank you for coming in to talk with me. I think we can be done for today, unless there's anything else either of you would like to add. I would like both of you to meet tomorrow and make a meeting plan for the future. Do you want me present tomorrow, or would you like to try meet by yourself to see how it goes?
I don't have anything to add. I think it would be fine if we met alone tomorrow. What do you think, Ashley?
I would like to meet tomorrow on our own and see if we can manage it. Could we set up a check-in with you in the future to see how we've progressed?
Great! Yes, let's set up a meeting for a month from now to give time for the meetings to happen. But if you feel you need to check in sooner, just reach out to me and we will make it happen.
Sounds good to me.
Have a good afternoon, ladies. I hope this helped.
Thanks, Connie. This was really helpful.
Have a good afternoon. We'll be in touch.
The characters Kristen, Ashley, and Connie just finished their mediated discussion regarding their workplace conflict, which included feelings of bullying. They discussed their feelings and problems, and both sides of the story were told. Connie used tools to mediate the conversation by using things we learned from difficult conversations, as well as other readings and discussions from the class. Connie tried to steer Ashley and Kristen away from blaming each other, the blame game, for the situation, and look at how they both contributed to the problem, and learning how to communicate with each other and make things better in the future. Emotions ran strong during the meeting, and Ashley became frustrated, cutting Connie off at one point to say what she was thinking and feeling. It was a difficult conversation, like the title of the book, but in the end, Kristen and Ashley began to feel like they could handle the conflict and resolve it if they both worked together. Ashley felt there was hope for a better working relationship with Kristen, as long as they both tried to implement the information and suggestions that Connie gave them. They learned that they saw things differently, and Kristen hadn't intended to be a bully, and each person contributed to the problem. By asking for help and having Connie mediate, the conflict will hopefully not progress any further, but resolve things, and they will become better going forward, so that Kristen and Ashley, as well as their coworkers, can have a good working relationship.